So yeah, I do know Criminal Minds. I don't know who originally did it. I watched it on TV, but I didn't know a lot about it. So to be fair, I'm going to say a couple of things forward before I talk about this because this is kind of important. So I knew about, at the very least, I knew Jimmy Kimmel was taken off the air. And it was what he said. I didn't actually look up what he said. And then I did some research of what happened, but that was today. And I also heard he is coming back today. So today's been a very weird day where it's like, oh, he's left, and the Marvel people, and this. And I was like, wait, why does the Marvel people have to do it? And he's leaving ABC. It was like, okay, ABC, I do know. ABC is like BBC. And it's like, and they're connected to Disney. Oh, they're connected to Disney, that's why. That's a bit awkward. This happened a couple of days ago and I've been talking about Disney Plus. This is awkward. I probably shouldn't be doing this. And I was like, but he's coming back. I'm like, I don't know what to do, but to acknowledge it. I would like to point out, I'm in the UK. And I also don't really watch late shows, which is what Jimmy Kimmel was. He was a late night show host, which I don't watch. Well, occasionally. Like, the one that I sometimes watch is Graham Norton. That's rarely. That's like, oh yeah, guess who's on TV? Graham Norton. Let's watch this episode. I'm midway through, I'm like, why not? So I know he exists, but I don't really watch them. I don't know much about them. And when I did some research, I'm just going to acknowledge, because the situation seemingly wrapped itself up and Jimmy Kimmel was back, which was the right decision, the wording of what he said was very confusing. It didn't sound that bad, but I'm not 100%. But again, I was going to the gym and being like, wait, what's happening? And just listening while I'm working, I'm like, huh. So I'm gonna, because it seemingly wrapped itself up, I'm just going to continue. But anyway, the other thing I would like to acknowledge is the one that I want to talk about is, why do I always forget the people's names? I don't think it's Penelope. Criminal Minds tech expert. The name is Penelope Garcia. Oh, it is correct. It is Penelope. Anyway, so the episode I wanted to talk about was season 3, episode. Now, I would like to point out that this is technically for a thing which is connecting to season 3, episode 8. But I would like to talk about that in something else, because I think that episode, I think is more interesting to look in connection with Derek Morgan, because even though this is building up with this I think builds, I think the things you do get, which is basically introduction of this guy, the first introduction with Derek Morgan, she calls back Derek Morgan and has a conversation with him, and then later on she talks to, I don't remember exactly who, but I think it's Emily, and Emily talks to Derek Morgan. But I think that episode is more interesting conversation, and I will do that in a bit, with Derek Morgan, because he has a connection with that in the church, which is important. But then it goes into this, but I just want to give you that bit. At the end of the episode, she gets shot. And then and you slowly reveal that she is a good nature, she does this, and she actually figures some stuff out about, like, the watch, and the one thing which I found was interesting as a connection, because when, obviously, I've been rewatching some of the episodes, I'm like, when I rewatched this, I was like, when it's the first time, I was like, oh yeah, that's a weird position. And then when they show back to, like, Derek Morgan, who did a similar thing, get into the corner, make sure you wait there. I'm going to see if we're in danger because someone's firing at someone. I like the idea that she, wait a second, when we were going to the restaurant, he did the exact same thing. It is so interesting. Because of that, you see sort of a text goes, and even though I know nothing about programming, when they did the like one-to-one stuff, it's really interesting. Obviously, this is one of the things that has those two sort of be something, and the person who later comes on for tech does come back in some other episodes. This is sort of his first introduction. But again, for Penelope, this is sort of a really interesting episode. Again, it's fun, it's interesting, it's exciting, and I absolutely love it because of that. So I do definitely think this is one of her best episodes. But yeah, I hope you enjoy it, and good night.